A chilling Christmas ride, a ghostly encounter in a snowstorm. Nick Randall despised blizzards. The white wall of snow swallowed his headlights, the road disappeared under a thick blanket, and his wipers groaned in futile resistance. "One more job, and I'm home," he muttered, gripping the steering wheel tighter. A notification lit up on the dashboard. A new ride request. The address was in the outskirts, a secluded area of suburban cottages. Nick cursed under his breath, but accepted the job. "Extra cash before Christmas won't hurt," he reasoned. When he arrived at the location, he spotted a woman standing by the roadside under a flickering street lamp. She didn't wave or try to catch his attention. She just stood there, gazing at the road. Nick rolled down his window and called out, "Taxi?" She turned her head slowly. Her pale face bore a faint, eerie smile. Strands of wet hair clung to her cheeks, and her clothes seemed from another time. A long, dark coat with a high collar and a black hat. A chill crept up Nick's spine. "Yes," she replied softly, her voice clear despite the howling wind. "Elm Street, number 42. "Sure, hop in," Nick said, opening the rear door. The woman slid into the car with a near-silent grace. Even the door didn't seem to make a sound when it closed. Nick glanced at her through the rearview mirror. She sat upright, hands neatly folded on her lap, staring out the window. Weird, but not the weirdest, Nick thought, pulling back onto the road. The snowstorm intensified, muffling all sounds except for the wind's mournful wail. Nick attempted to break the silence. "Cold night, huh?" "Yes," she replied curtly, her gaze fixed on the swirling snow outside. "Come here often? This area's usually deserted in weather like this." "I used to," she murmured, then fell silent again. Her voice sent a shiver through Nick. It was distant, like an echo from somewhere far away. He stole another glance at her in the mirror. She was already looking at him. Her eyes, black, impossibly black, made his breath hitch. He quickly looked back at the road. "You okay?" he asked, trying to ease the tension. "Are you sure you know where you're going?" she asked suddenly. "Of course I do," Nick snapped, trying to mask his unease. "I've got GPS." "GPS doesn't always know the way," she whispered. Her words pierced his mind like shards of ice. "Just an odd passenger," he thought, pressing the gas pedal a little harder. Minutes passed and Nick realized something unsettling. He couldn't hear her breathing. Cars always had ambient sounds, breaths, shifting clothes, but now there was only silence. Absolute silence. "Don't turn around, it'll seem weird," he told himself. Instead, he glanced in the mirror. She was still there, sitting motionless, gazing out the window. But there were no signs of her breath on the frosted glass. Nick gripped the wheel tighter, his knuckles white. "Calm down. You're just tired. 5 more minutes." "So where are you from?" he asked, desperate to fill the void. "I'm going home," she said, still staring out the window. Nick's heart thudded harder. He checked the mirror again. Her reflection seemed to fade, becoming less distinct. Just then, the car hit a pothole, jarring him. Instinctively, he turned to look. The back seat was empty. Slamming on the brakes, Nick skidded to a halt on the icy road. He jumped out, circling the car, squinting into the snow. "She jumped out? But how? I'd have heard it!" He shouted into the storm, but there was nothing. No footprints, no sign of her. Only his own tracks in the snow. "Damn it!" he swore, climbing back into the car. His phone buzzed with another notification. Another ride request. He glanced at the screen. The address, Elm Street, number 42. Snapping the phone shut, Nick forced himself to breathe. Just a coincidence, he told himself. When he reached Elm Street, An old, dilapidated house loomed before him. Its windows were boarded up, and the yard was overgrown. A rusted sign on the gate read, "For sale." "App glitch," Nick muttered, staring at the house. An elderly woman walking by caught his eye. He rolled down the window. "Excuse me, do you know who lives here?" The woman frowned. "No one. That house has been empty for 10 years. A girl died here, crashed her car into the fence during a snowstorm. It happened on Christmas Eve." Nick froze, his heart pounding. Slowly, he turned to look at the back seat. A single dark, wet glove lay on the upholstery. A woman's glove. Don't let this creepy Christmas story end here. If you love the suspense and chills, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to catch more scary Christmas stories and other terrifying animated tales. Share this video with friends who love a good Christmas ghost story, and let us know in the comments, what's the scariest holiday tale you've ever heard? Let's keep the holiday chills alive together.